Ever wonder why some people just seem to bloom effortlessly, while for others it's a struggle not to wilt? Imagine if your life came with a plant care guide, like a plant in a nursery. What would yours say? Today, I'm going to show you how to create your own personal plant care guide to help you thrive in every season. Yesterday, I was on the phone with a friend and she was feeling really burnt out. She had overcommitted herself to too many projects and she had said yes to too many things and she was just feeling like she was sort of wilting. This friend of mine is an avid gardener. She loves to be outside working on her plants and she loves to plant seasonally and grow things in the garden. Our conversation reminded me of a great metaphor from one of my favorite coaches, Maisie Hill, the author of Period Power. Maisie is a coach, a writer, a business owner, and a parent, and she also is autistic. And so she talks a lot about how she has different sensory needs and preferences that help her to thrive in her busy life. The idea is this. When we visit a nursery to purchase a new plant, whether it's a house plant or a plant that's going outside, we pay a lot of attention to its needs and listen to the guide that's provided on the plant of what are the kinds of things that are going to help this plant to grow and survive. Plants have basic needs like how much light, how much water, what kind of soil it should be in, the type of environment in which it does best, and also some instructions for us gardeners about how to help to care for the plants. Human beings are actually a lot more like plants than we are usually willing to recognize. The first step of creating your own plant care guide is to understand which type of soil helps you to feel your best. Soil is the foundation of growth. It's where a plant will put down its roots and get its nutrients as well as absorb water. When you're writing your own plant guide, think about what are the foundations of things that you might need. For example, this can be your basic stuff like nutrition, light, sleep, exercise, but it can also include things like joy, connection, and play. For example, I'm a plant that has very specific nutritional needs. I thrive best when I'm eating a high protein, low carbohydrate diet. That doesn't work for every kind of plant though, and it won't work for every kind of person. The kind of exercise that I need to feel my best is low impact exercise like daily walks in the afternoon. I'm a morning person, so I need to be able to go to sleep early because my body clock is going to naturally wake me up with the sun. Perhaps I'm like a tulip or a morning glory, and I bloom first thing in the morning. The important thing to remember is that just like we don't judge plants for having different kinds of needs and thriving better in different kinds of environments, it's important not to judge ourselves for the kinds of things that we need to thrive. The next step is determining your ideal environment. We obviously can't always exist in our ideal environment. And in fact, there's been studies that show that plants that are grown in controlled environments don't get the necessary resilience that they might get if they're exposed to things like windstorms and rainstorms, that they don't thrive as much as plants that are hardened and tested by things like weather. On my plant guide, I might have it put that I need full sun. I grew up in Southern California and I love to be in light, bright, sunny spaces. So I like to get outside every day and feel the sun on my face. And that means that if I'm living in an environment where that's not possible, I need to think about other ways I might be able to get that light, like buying one of those happy lights. Some plants thrive in a very humid environment, while others do best in dry environments. You can adapt this to think about what kind of environments do you experience, what are the extreme ends, and in which do you feel the most yourself. On my plant care guide, I might put that I do enjoy working independently, but I like it when other people are around. So for example, sitting at home alone or in a space by myself, sometimes I find it difficult to focus. Whereas if I take my work with me to the library or a coffee shop, and even if I'm working on my own on my projects, having other people around and hearing that kind of ambient noise really helps me to feel like my head is in the right headspace to do the kind of creative work that I'd like to work on. Speaking of the environment, another thing to consider is, are you the kind of plant that thrives in community or a solitary kind of existence? Certain plants sometimes need other plants nearby for cross-pollination, and certain people need other people around to feel at their best. Think about the beautiful cherry trees that we can see in Japan or in Washington, D.C., which, fun fact, those were actually a gift from the Japanese government to the United States. Those cherry trees all blossom together in this beautiful couple of weeks span in the early spring. It's this beautiful event that people travel around the world to see, but it wouldn't be possible if the trees were separated, isolated, and alone. Part of the plant care process that not a lot of people think about is the importance of pruning. Just like we sometimes prune our trees or rose bushes before the start of winter, it's important to regularly, seasonally take a look at elements of our life that are just no longer serving us. What can we prune out of our lives by allowing ourselves to release it with self-compassion? If it's no longer serving you, then it's leaching important nutrients that could go into developing the root system or perhaps expanding that energy in the springtime. Finally, your plant care guide can include what brings vibrancy and joy into your life. Like those beautiful blossoms that we get in the springtime or the full blooms that we can see in the summer, what types of things make you feel like you are fully alive and at the height of your powers? Consider what makes you feel the most sparkly and fulfilled in your life, and see if there's a way that you can infuse more of that into your regular daily experiences. Things that bring vibrancy and joy in my life are time with friends, traveling, reading, musical theater, and stand-up comedy. I'm so excited this month to go visit a friend who lives in Toronto because we are going to walk together, chat, visit bookstores, go see one of my favorite stand-up comedians, and we're going to do it all outside where I'm going to hopefully get the last of the beautiful summer light in Toronto. When you create your own personal plant care guide, my hope is that it helps you to accept that there are things that are specific to your needs, and there is nothing wrong with having those specific needs. Think about the difference between a palm tree and a fern. They don't exist in the same environment, but they're equally beautiful and equally worth celebrating. If you enjoyed this video and you want to keep talking about creating your plant care guide, I have decided to host a workshop where I'm going to walk you through more in depth about the steps of how to create your own personal plant care guide. So if you'd like to join, click on the link in the description and you'll receive the bespoke invitation to the Plant Care Guide workshop. Thanks for watching and happy gardening.